What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Pat just accused me of having attitude ahead of the show. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm doing good, man. It's a Monday morning. The Yankees blow. Haven't won a series since sweeping the Royals. The minor leaguers are nice, though. We have a good minor league system. So, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Can't really complain. Like, bro, the Yankees aren't good, but who cares at this point, right? Like, we just watch to
For
watch.
real.
But you had a pretty exciting weekend with the kids, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, now that you mentioned it, I was at Somerset on Friday. Had a good time. Good old night at the ballpark. Had a hot dog. Had a large Diet Coke, some funnel. Actually, no. I did not get funnel cake. I had fried Oreos because they don't sell funnel cake in Somerset. My only complaint of the night. But yo, Drew Thorpe, real deal. I'm not a scout. I'm not even commenting on his like mechanics, pitches, whatever. Dude looks like a fucking beast. He's gonna be a big deal. He's gonna be box office in New York, and he's not that far off. Could compete in the
Yeah.
rotation next year.
Also, you were like a day before they called up Spencer Jones, right?
I know, yeah. What the hell, bro? Which
Yeah.
I was thinking with Jason too. It's like, man, this is my first time being at Somerset. If I just came a week earlier, I could have seen Jason. But I'll probably going back. It
Yeah,
was a good
it is
time.
what it
Shout out
is.
Somerset, which we're kind of tight with them now because we all know
Yeah.
about Pat's first pitch. 8 out of 10, bro.
Huge shout
Eight
out.
out of 10.
But yeah, before we get into anything, we have a fun episode today, as usual. Before we get into anything, though, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout, save 15% off your purchase. We'll show you guys some other stuff later.
Get something.
I like that. I
Get
do like
something.
that.
Just get something.
Um,
You know.
is your seatbelt buckled in? Because I'm ready for like a
It is
fun,
now,
wild episode.
brother.
Okay, cool,
Cha-ching.
cool, cool.
That's
If
not
you're
really a
not,
seatbelt sound.
cha-ching.
More of a click as a seatbelt sound, actually. So
Okay,
I
like a
apologize. I take it back. Ready to talk
okay,
some
cool.
ball, though, I guess. Which I'm
Yeah,
so
let's
done
get.
with this season, bro. I really, really am. But let's just fucking roll.
Listen, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about topic number one. The Yankees lost another series. I'm pretty sure I saw this thing you just posted on Yankees Avenue where the Yankees have won one series since the beginning of July.
It's the Royal Series, yeah.
Yeah, which is absolutely insane. It's the fewest series wins by any team during that span. So they dropped 2 out of 3 to the Rays at the Trop. It looked like they were going to win the series actually on Sunday. Things were looking pretty good. Then they blew that lead. Benches cleared twice in the series finale after Randy Rosarena was hit. I saw some statistic where I think the Yankees hit the Rays like 13 times this season, and the Rays
12
hit
to
the Yankees
2, I
like
think, is the
twice.
ratio. Yankees
12
have
to
been hit
2, I think it
twice.
is.
Rays have been hit 12 times, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I could maybe understand where the Rays are coming from, but also
Sure.
like they have to realize like the Yankees just aren't a good team. They don't have great major league caliber pitchers right now. And I think they are starting to realize that because after the game, Brandon Lowe said it's a last place team against a team that's in contention. Not worth our time. We need each game. They're not really in each game. And you know what? It's really sad to say at this point, but he's not wrong. And I think that the mentality that he's going at this with, and I think the mentality that the Rays are going at this with, is the mentality that we as Yankee fans used for so long, right? So at this point in the season, let's say we were facing the Mets in the Subway Series, and Mets fans were going crazy. We're like, we're playing for something at this point. You guys aren't. Or if we're playing the Red Sox when they were in a down year, it always felt like we were on the opposite side of this argument. But now to have the Rays kind of beating up on us, being like, yo, that's a last place team, like not even worth our time. It sucks, but he's also right, you know?
Yeah, dude, I think it's funny because like a lot of people on Twitter are making this out to be something as like a jab at Yankee fans, like, oh, Yankee fans, we're gonna feel down and dumps about this. Like, bro, we're all agreeing with Brandon Lowe. We're like, yo, dude, we're a shit show. We're a dumpster fire. We know that, man. And like, I feel like the more public embarrassment we get, the better the outcome is gonna be. Because what we've been talking about in the last few weeks, like, we kind of want this Yankees team to fall out as much as possible, so the changes that we want have the best chance of possible of happening. I'm cool with getting embarrassed. Continue to get embarrassed. And this is one of those moments. And he's right. Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. We're an irrelevant team right now. We know that. Now, I don't think the Rays should be acting all high and mighty because in the end, I don't think they're going to be World Series champs. I'm not even sure they'll make it out of the first round. I mean, they lost their ace this whole season and next. Their shortstop is hanging out with 14-year-olds. They already blew a historic division start they had to the season. So, I mean, things aren't exactly great in Rays land to where they were at the beginning of the year. I feel like they're still acting like the big bad, best team in baseball they were the first couple of months. But with that said, no, they own us this year. That's great. I'll give them that. I'm cool with it, though. Like, yo, continue to embarrass us. That's just fine. We need to be embarrassed.
Yeah, I like it. To be honest, like I think that these are the kind of things that normally the Yankees would be like, oh, that's locker room material or bulletin board material, as they might call it. But I think this can maybe be a motivating factor for the Yankees front office to be like, this can't happen again. And if we do go into next season, we talk about it all the time. If we do go into next season, kind of like running it back, business as usual, I think it just goes to show like the Yankees just aren't impacted by stuff like this. Even though they definitely should be. Like, dude, this is embarrassing. And I think as Yankee fans, we could kind of sit back and laugh about it at this point because like we're on the outside looking in. But if you're a part of the New York Yankees organization, if you're Harrison Bader, if you're Brian Cashman, if you're Aaron Boone, if you're Sean Casey, are you not embarrassed by these comments?
Where did Harrison Bader come from there? Is that just like the one
Well,
guy you had to pick
I
on?
despise him. Yeah. No, no. Okay. Just because
Not that he's
I'm
been
like,
good. I'm just saying you picked one guy. I don't even think
no,
it's
no, no, no,
unreasonable to
no.
go with
But
him. It was just funny.
because looking back on the Ray series, he's just like stuck in my mind because of the post game interview where I think Meredith asked him like, "Oh, I, something like the reason for your big struggles lately," and he was kind of like, "Ha ha ha, just the process, you know."
I
It
didn't
was
see
it
that.
was
That's
something.
annoying.
Yeah, he was laughing when they asked him about like just the struggles
Yeah.
so far, and so that bothered me. So that's why I brought him up.
The race, I mean, the little bench clearing brawl, by the way, like most of what I'm saying, I don't care about that. I don't even think that's embarrassing. I actually think Randy kind of looked like a pussy, to be honest, because he had multiple times. And I'll say the same about Ian Hamilton, too, because he had a comment post game that was like, they want to come over here, they can come over here. Which you're planning tomorrow. Like, this goes to Randy, this goes to Ian Hamilton. Like, don't start acting like tough guys when you had multiple opportunities to, if you wanted to, go beat the shit out of each other and you did it. I mean, Randy wants to act all tough, pretend to slam his bat down, and then have the umpire and his team come back him up and keep him away from starting any trouble. And then he's looking at Abreu second and third base after stealing the base, and like looking like he's trying to start something. And when Abreu says something to him, he backs off. And I'm no Burt stan. I don't love Albert Abreu. That's part of why I don't give a shit the way this fight went down. It was a whole bunch of nothing. But no, it's the fact that the Yankees are just terrible. They lost another series. That's to me what the embarrassment's all about. And where Brandon Lowe's statement has some weight. The Yankees are irrelevant right now in terms of the team on the field. They're not irrelevant, though. Let me say this real quick. They're absolutely not irrelevant in terms of people being like, oh, the Yankees mean nothing anymore. Like they're not even they don't hold any weight. Their name doesn't hold any weight anymore. That's not true. You can tell by how happy, how pleased everybody is that we are down in the dumps right now. We're still a big story. It's like we are like the Yankees being bad is still one of the biggest stories in sports. Like it's almost as big a story as it's probably a bigger story than if we were good. So by no means are the Yankees the name irrelevant, but our team is just terrible. And I'm glad to have that be further exposed this series against the Rays.
Yeah, but I think that that's also a narrative that can change very quickly, right? Like as of right now, everyone's kind of just in shock and either celebrating or depressed about the Yankees being bad this year. But if they're bad again next season, I don't think it becomes a storyline anymore. I think it just kind of becomes
No.
like natural, like, oh, like the Yankees just aren't a good team. Bro, I've already seen on YouTube, like on my home feed, um, the failed rebuild of the New York Yankees.
Why
Where
do you
how
think,
did
bro? Because they're
how did
clicks
the
like
New
the
York
Yankees.
Yankees go wrong? Like it, but it's also crazy to think about because this is something that I thought of in my head, like after 2018, after 2019, after 2020. It's like, bro, we were gonna get like these 30 for 30 documentaries about like the failed baby bombers era. And now that we're kind of like in it, we're in the downfall. It feels really, really weird. And I think just looking at this race series and just putting a cap on it, um, it was just a story of the Yankee season, right? Like this is what we saw every single series, every single game. They have a lead, bro. They look good through the first few innings, bang, choke it away, and then just everything crumbles after that.
It's nothing new. Yeah, like this
It's
series,
nothing
bro.
new at
This
all.
season is just literally like I watch the show because, or I watch these games because it's my job now. Legit, like that is
Yeah.
what is putting the TV on the rest of the way for me. Like, that is the reason why. I'll see you in 2024. Last thing I'll say, like, enjoy being honest while we're down because yeah, it's easy right now. But I'll say the Yankees will be back. I don't know exactly when that'll be. May hopefully be under a new GM or what. I don't. If Cash can fix it, word bet. But we'll be good again at some point. And then I will tell Brandon Loud to go fuck himself when we're back on top. May just be a little while till I can say that.
Speaking of Brian Cashman being gone, right? One guy who we mentioned who would be like the perfect replacement for Cashman was Theo Epstein a couple episodes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on, I don't know like how big of a fan you are of this, probably not. K Rod. I love K Rod. Love the broadcast so
Yeah,
much. Like
I
every
like
every
Michael K.
Sunday
I
night
like A
baseball.
Rod. I don't
Yeah,
watch too
I
much
like
though.
I like one of the two. And love one of the two actually. A Rod will be on this show this year, guaranteeing that. Where was I going? Oh, so I was watching K Rod last night and they had Theo Epstein on as one of the special guests. And I didn't know he's currently like a consultant for MLB.
Yeah.
And the reason he's kind of stepped away is because he wanted to spend more time with family, whatever. Hand him a blank check. I think as much time as he wants to spend with his family, I think that if you give him the right amount of money and put him in the right situation, I can't see Theo Epstein denying an opportunity to kind of like restructure the New York Yankees and bring them back to greatness. Bro, I think any GM would. And just to have like the genius of Theo Epstein at the helm, I think would really just give us an enormous amount of confidence going into next season. And bro, it's just, I don't know, it's just frustrating because I'm looking at it and I just don't see it happening.
Nah, it won't. It won't. And also, the fact that he's with MLB right now probably, I think, may put that to bed because apparently he's happy. He's chilling. And the reason why he left the Cubs, same as the Red Sox, is that the whole thing. The George Washington 2 terms or the 10 years he says.
Yeah.
It's like he goes in, he fixes the situation, he gets it right, and they come out on top. And then he walks away because he feels like a new vision,
I
new
mean,
voice
what a
is needed,
stud,
which is
bro.
like the most, I mean, if there's probably the most respectable thing about George Washington, it's that, like, really, you could apply it to Theo Epstein. It's cool the way he thinks that, no personal leadership should be around that long. There should always be a new voice considered after, in his case, 10 years or so. I'll say this, it'd be the ultimate FU to Brian Cashman too, because apparently Cashman is kind of like a inside Theo Epstein fanboy. Like he really tries to model himself after that. And
Really?
like tries to be. I read that one time, yes, that like he's obsessed with the way Theo did things in Boston. And that's why we often hear the criticism, and it's true. Like Brian Cashman sometimes acts like a small market GM. Like, no,
Yeah.
you're the GM of the New York Yankees. And part of that comes from the way that Theo modeled his organizations. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it if it did, though.
You know what the Yankees feel like right now? They feel like, all right, analogy time. So it's a Monday morning, right? You
It
go
is.
downstairs, you grab yourself some cereal, right? You have a couple different options, right? You have Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, Cheerios. Don't shake your head because you know this
No,
is
go
going
on. Go
somewhere
on.
good. You have a few different options: Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops, Cheerios. You grab the Cheerios. Not like the best pick, but you're like, all right, it's like a safe bet. You know what you're gonna get from Cheerios. You pour it in a bowl, you forget about it. 3 days later, you go get that same bowl of Cheerios, and they're all stale and gross, and then you start eating them. That's what the New York Yankees are. They are
Did
a
you pour the milk
3 day old.
already?
I don't use milk in cereal.
Okay, that
I
is
think that's
ridiculous,
gross.
bro. Come
No,
on,
no.
man. That's not like
I
cereal then. Like, what do you like? First of all, if you're gonna eat cereal plain, don't even pour it in the fucking bowl. Just reach your hand in there and grab some cereal. You do not pour
no,
cereal in the
because
bowl
then it
unless you're
gets
doing milk.
everywhere. No, I don't think it's like that far fetched of an idea to have cereal without milk. I think it's more common than you might think.
No, it's. I mean, I'll do it too, but it'll be like a late night snack. But it's not like I'm
It's just,
having
bro,
like you
bro.
can't like have a bowl of
Who wants to
cereal
eat
without
milk
milk.
with a spoon,
You can
bro?
eat cereal. What? Okay, no, come on. Don't act like okay. If you're gonna act like cereal without milk is common, don't act like cereal with milk is not
Oh,
common.
it's
Like,
definitely common. It doesn't mean I'm not
right.
grossed out by
I
it though.
oh no, I just heard a little in my AirPod.
Oh,
So
you gotta. Oh, well. See,
I'm
but
just
that's
take them
why I
out
don't know
now.
why you wear both at the same time.
2 AirPods.
Yeah, I always do one because then it's like you have two AirPods. Then it's like if one dies, oh, let
All
me
right.
put the other one in.
Well, most of the time they're charged. I'm gonna, as you transition to topic 2, I'm gonna transition to pod-free ears.
Oh, nice. But yeah, speaking of the Rays series, let's get into a positive, the only positive, I guess, from the Rays series, and that's DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu might be back, he might not be, who knows? But he had 3 home runs over the weekend, hitting 315 with a 915 OPS since the All-Star break. Kind of wild. Is he the Yankees starting third baseman going into next year, or is it Josh Donaldson, or is it Oswald Parado, or is it someone who's not currently on the roster? Tell me,
We're
Dan.
we're gonna talk about Josh Donaldson in a minute. I'll say yes, he probably is, and by no means am I upset to see him hitting. I'm happy. Some might say it'll like it's kind of a facade to trick the Yankees into thinking, oh, he's just fine. Going to next year, he can be your starting guy. Thing is, I think that was probably the case regardless. Even if DJ were like, oh, for his last 200 ending this year, he probably is going to go in for the most part as a fixture at third base next year. I would love for them to go out and get Heimer Candelario. You know, we talked about him a lot at the trade deadline. He's a free agent, switch hitter, still hitting well with who's with now? Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
Love to go out and get him. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Yeah, it's nice to see DJ hitting for sure, and particularly over really. I mean, you go since that All-Star break. What does that coincide with? We have one of the few success stories with Sean Casey. He's apparently really clicking in with him. I read an article about it today. I guess DJ was a Detroit Tigers fan growing up. Not that this is too big a deal at all, but the whole story was that he used to watch Sean Casey play with the Tigers in 2006, 2007, and they had a little bonding moment where Casey was like, "Yo, DJ, I didn't know you were a Tigers fan, man." He was
I
like,
like the impression. That's
he was
good.
like, yeah. And then apparently they've been clicking ever since. DJ was hitting the cover off the ball. And yeah, particularly over the last 15 games, he has a 1.12 OPS. So it's not even like DJ is hitting like a little 300 where he's walking a bit. Now we're starting to get the power. And yeah, one, I like DJ. Two, he's going to be playing next year. It's good to see. So one of the few victories we can have from this season or from this. I don't know what Bucket's saying, dude.
No, it's fine. I think that yeah, no, that's great. I agree. I think that seeing this from DJ is it can only be a positive. And I don't think that we'll ever see like 2019, 2020 DJ again.
Hot
But if
take.
we could get something okay, if we
I'd love
get something
that.
close to it, that would be ideal. And what we've been seeing from him from the All-Star break is like the most ideal scenario for what we could get from DJ LeMahieu. Bro, a 915 OPS since the All-Star break. That's a decent sample size now at this point.
Yeah,
That's over a month. So I'm not even gonna say it's a hot streak. It just might be a great second half. And going into next season, if he could kind of carry this through September at some sort of like, bro, if he can end the season with a 850 OPS after the All-Star break, I will tip my cap to DJ and be like, I'm confident in him going into next season. Now whether or not he carries that into next season, I guess we'll wait and see. But you'd rather see him do this than suck, right?
totally. Yeah, and I don't want to make this seem like I'm joking about it too much, which I know I am, but like this is a big deal. It's definitely good to see DJ hitting this well. You would also hopefully, and at times you do, like it feels like he's going to get hot, but Stanton, you would also really like to see like the guys that are going to be a fixture. And say if Rizzo were to come back, which I think he's taking live BP now, Rizzo is. So if he were to come back, say in a week or whatever it may be, the guys are going to be a part of the 24 Yankees, no matter what, you really like to see hit well. So DJ, that's good. Stanton, hopefully he can get going, and then Rizzo as well. But yeah, we'll see what the offseason brings. But these guys are going to be important next year. So good to see
You know
him
who
hit,
else is
dude.
important next year?
Foco,
No, you.
I'm not going anywhere, man.
Well, that's why I said you're important next year. I think both of us are important next year.
You're saying that to me like, dude, like I'm having a mental breakdown and I'm about to go like fall off the face of the earth. And you're like, no, Dan, please stay. I'm not going
No,
anywhere.
no. I think we're all important. Like
Oh,
it,
here we go. Yes, obviously we're all important.
I'm important. You're no, okay. I have this. I don't want to say newfound mentality, but a mentality that I've been really like feeding into lately. And I think people at home should take notes. I feel like you should wake up every single morning and think that you are the king of the world, bro. Genuinely. And if you don't, I think that that's loser mentality. Like, wake up every single morning and be like, yo, I'm the best at what I do. I'm like, bro, even
Yeah.
if you're a cashier at McDonald's, like, go to work and tell yourself, like, bro, I'm the best friggin' cashier in the world, dude. And I think if everyone had that mentality and just had like that self confidence in themselves, I think they'd view themselves as more important.
Well, I think there's something to be said for it's not always a bad thing to have a big ego. You got to keep yourself in check a little bit, make sure you're humble. But I think, yeah, it's better to think you're the best person in the world than the worst person in the world. Yeah.
Shout out to Christina. Before we end topic 3, want to give a huge shout out to Foco, our main sponsor of the show. We love you so much, Foco. This shirt right here, guess where it's from? Foco. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout. Save 15% off your purchase. Dan. Oh, yeah, rock the robe.
Yeah,
rock
I ain't
the robe.
playing. Hold on. What's
Yeah,
good?
you look good.
Thank you. I do. I'm gonna wear this the rest of the show, actually, I think, because I still have my haircut, which Pat did say looks good. Thank you. But I know it doesn't. I appreciate the Make-A-Wish sympathy. But Yankees Avenue code 15 FOCO, code Yankees Avenue, 15% off. Oh, very nice. It's a nice looking bobblehead. I got one too. Yo, get yourself decked out for Yankees that actually are worthy of the logo. You got Garrett Cole. You got Garrett Cole waiting for it. I'm all over the place, man. Damn, some cool wall art, dope hat, nice robe, and football season is really getting close. Like actually getting close now. We are, I think, a week from this weekend. The week after this weekend is football season, I believe. So if you want to get something for the Jets, the Giants, Foco also has you hooked up. Code Yankees Avenue, 15% off. Help support the show. Help support us. Help support Foco because they're dope. And I love them. And I love you. And I love the people watching at home. What's next?
That was a great ad read, Dan. Speaking of football season, maybe like you can give me the pass here, but I don't have like a team per se, right? Last year I was rooting for the Giants in the playoffs because, like, New York team, whatever. I don't have a team. So going into this season, the Jets seem really cool, and I was wondering if you can kind of like give me like a bandwagon pass because I would love to be like an honorary Jets fan this season.
One, I don't think I have the right technically to do that because I'm not a diehard crazy Jets fan, although I do watch every game. But if I do, 100%, dude, you are
Okay,
welcome
cool. Thank
aboard
you.
the Jets train because this is the year, man. Now, it is like funny timing that, like, yeah, of course, like, yeah, you're kind of a bandwagon for that, but it's all good
No,
because
it's fine.
you're not a bandwagon
That's
because like
it's all good.
you literally don't have a football team though, right? Like if you're being honest about that, then like it's totally cool. Like you have every right, you could join whatever team you want. You don't even need permission. But dude, like get on the train. We're ready to go because like
Yeah, bro.
we're
Call me casual. I don't care.
legitimate Super Bowl contenders. And I'm a casual. I'm a
Let's go.
casual that watches every game. Like I don't. I'll get upset over the losses, but usually 10 or 15 minutes later, it's over. It's not like how I am with the Yankees. But yo, like let's go. Let's go to a fucking football game this year too. Maybe
Let's go. But
I haven't
I'm
been to one,
down.
so I'd be down. So
I'm
welcome to
down.
the Jets fandom, dude.
Let's go. Let's get in topic number 3 though. Let's talk about Josh Donaldson, because apparently he still exists. I didn't know, but he does. The Yankees are preparing him for a rehab assignment and to potentially return in the month of September. I saw this news. I was a little bit confused just because I thought we were entering a new wave of Yankees baseball, and Josh Donaldson coming back doesn't really fit in those plans at all. So, give me your thoughts on this, Daniel.
All right. I mean, I just have to assume it's total bullshit. Now, Boone did say that like this is a thing. Donaldson is apparently, yeah, working towards some sort of a rehab assignment, but there's just no way. And I will give the Yankees the benefit of the doubt here because they're not this stupid. There's no way he ever plays another inning for them again. Because I mean, you look at the last they've been putting out and ever since calling up the kids, like it's clearly they've waved the white flag on the season. They're playing, yeah, they'll have Peraza at third, even if you like have DJ there, whoever. So all the Cabrera even is more important than having Donaldson at third base. So with that said, like maybe you see him play a game in double A, but there's no I just can't imagine. Like he has a buyout next year for $4 million. His contract is up. This shit is over. I thought it was over a couple months ago. There's no way they bring him back. That's my take. It's not really even a thought in my brain.
Yeah. He's kind of irrelevant, bro. I like
Right.
it's sad to say, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did bring him back. And I
Really.
think by you saying that, like, he's never going to play another game for the Yankees, I
I
think
jinxed
that
it.
might be a stretch because no, jinxes aren't real. But I remember saying the same thing, I think earlier in the season when he had that injury and we thought that they were kind of going to give him like the Ellsbury treatment, kind of just be like, bro, like, just stay away. And then he came back like the next week. So if they're saying that he's preparing for a rehab assignment, I wouldn't be shocked if we see him back in uniform in like a week and a half, bro.
There's one thing though, it's like when you're I remember when he came back to the LA series that in June, we were kind of stoked because we were still in it. And two, you thought, okay, maybe he does have a little something left. Now it's all like, but or no, it's officially confirmed. Donaldson is done. He is washed. I'll go a step further, Pat. I think he is like a good chance he never plays a major league baseball game again, period. Like not just for the Yankees, but who's picking this dude up? I mean, when you're this bad offensively, I mean, I guess the defense sure maybe still have some value if somebody wanted to sign him to a minor league deal, I guess. But he's not that great a guy, not great for the clubhouse. So, like, why would another team want to sign this dude?
Yeah,
It's over. It's
I don't
over.
know.
Wash our
I,
hands. No more Josh Donaldson. One of the worst trades of all time.
I think I could see a scenario where like a team gives him a flyer entering next season. Maybe it'd be
Yeah, no,
like the White Sox or
I think
something.
he signs
Well,
like I think he
maybe
signed a
not the
minor
White
league
Sox.
deal. But I truly think he's just washed with the bat. So I don't see him making a club. But we'll see. I'm done with Donaldson though.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh well.
you
Screw
want
him.
you want to get in topic number 4?
Yeah, let's
This is
do it.
kind of an interesting one. Speaking of Harrison Bader, right? Mentioned him earlier in the show. Um, Jordan Montgomery's killing it, right? And he's who the Yankees traded Bader for back last year at the deadline. And at the time, I was a huge fan of it because we viewed Monty as kind of like a 4-5. We were like, he's not making a playoff start regardless. So if you could go out and get a defense first outfielder and get what you could get from him offensively, that's ideal. Bader obviously tore it up in the postseason. He was better with his bat than what we thought he would be. We knew he had the injury past, whatever. And 2023, I guess we could say, has been I don't even want to say it's been a disappointment because I think 2023 is the definition of who Harrison Bader is, right? An
Fair.
average to below average hitter with really good defense and injuries here and there. 2023 is who Harrison Bader is. And I think a lot of people are disappointed in that because of what we saw from him last season. And also, like in the beginning of this season, he was a pretty good hitter as well. But if you could go back and let's say you had like a Uno reverse card on a trade, would you go back and keep Monty over Harrison Bader?
I mean, now just with the way things have worked out, I think I would go back in time and change it strictly for at least like the butterfly effect of things. Like, because for all I know, I mean, you can go back to that 2022 team. Look, maybe the Monty trade did some harm to the clubhouse. And just from that standpoint, okay, knowing the Bader shit hasn't worked out, I probably would flip it because of that, maybe. But yeah, Monty's been so much better than Bader has in the long haul, which initially I was not on this side of things. I liked Bader getting him probably through until a couple months ago, but the season stats, man, have really fallen off. I mean, you say below average, or you say like right around average, a little below average. Like he's well below now. 78 WRC plus. Yeah. So he's been 22% worse. The OBP on the season, not just in like the last month where he's been struggling, on the season is at 280. He's batting 243, only 7 homers. Yeah, the defense has been good, has 16 stolen bases, but I'm not re-signing him. So with that said, I think I would have had Monty back, but also I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I mean, bottom line is our offense isn't good enough, hasn't been good enough the whole year. So of course getting Monty back wouldn't save that. So I think no matter what, we were screwed. But if I had to pick who came out on top as being the better performer of the trade, Monty, easily.
Yeah, and bro, Monty's gonna be pitching in the playoffs this year.
Yeah,
The Rangers are a cool team, bro. Like, what's their rotation look like? Is Uvalde gonna be healthy for the playoffs?
I believe so. Yeah, they have
So
Evaldi,
then Scherzer,
Monty,
Monty,
Scherzer. I don't know who else, but
who's rounding out their
they got
rotation?
Chapman closing games, and he's starting to pull his bullshit a lot lately.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah,
he blow?
pulled
He
a
blew
couple
the game
saves this week,
yesterday
I
in the
feel like.
ninth, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he blew another one earlier in the week as well. Yeah, nah, Chapman has not, like, if you look at, I think Addison on Twitter posted, he's a Yankee fan. I believe he in non-safe situations, he's been money, like a point something ERA Chapman has since getting traded to the Rangers. But in save situations, he has like a 5 ERA. So they better be
Yeah.
careful come playoffs with them. But yeah, no, the Rangers are nasty, and Monty will be a big part of that. I also, though, I don't have a huge attachment to Monty, so it's not something I'm like losing sleep over. But I think most Yankee fans would admit Monty came out on top.
Bro, I think we could both remember like I didn't like Monty. I thought that he
Mhm.
was the most boring pitcher ever. Obviously, like the Yankees never scored when he pitched. Like the pace of the game when he would pitch was so slow. I just didn't like him, bro. I thought he was basically like
He's a box
plain
of
yogurt
Cheerios.
from Walmart. He's a box of Cheerios. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And at the time I was like, hell yeah, like inject some life into this team. But looking back, like even I can admit, yeah, the Yankees probably would have been better off in the long run keeping Monty. But at the time, I think it was still a deal that made sense.
Right. I mean, I guess I'll even admit, like, because I'll say I was wrong technically, because I was for the Bader trade, was happy when they did it, was happy once again, like through a few months of this year, I was still happy with it. But it doesn't make a difference. It's not
Yeah.
like having Monty would have made the 23 Yankees a playoff team by any means.
Which, by the way, speaking of Bader, and just he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah.
There's zero chance the Yankees bring him back, right? Because I know in the beginning of the year, I know you hate when I bring it up. You were talking about giving him like a pretty big extension, and I think a lot of Yankee fans were definitely open to the idea of bringing him back. But right now, I really can't see that
No.
happening.
Let's get this clear though. What I said was if Bader stays healthy the rest of the way and kept hitting the way he was, which he got off to a crazy start. And this was, I mean,
Yeah,
there's this take I stand by. If he kept hitting and didn't get hurt, which he's held up that part, hasn't gotten hurt since it, but um, I think he would have been able to get a deal like close to $100 million. Not even kidding. If he could hit with the defense he has, pretty easy money to be made there. But I wouldn't want them to bring him back. Now, if you get him on a cheap ass, like if it was like a 1 year deal, maybe I would think about it. But there'll still be some team I'm sure they give him like, I don't know, 3 years,
I
40
agree.
million or some shit like that, you know? So no, I'm good on Bader. I would love Bellinger. Let's compete next year still. Let's do a little
But
hybrid
bro,
of get the kids up, still sign some players. You get Bellinger in center field. I mean, that would be fucking hype. And you also, if you wanted to, when Rizzo's done, if you don't have something figured out at first base, you could also move Bellinger there. So
it's so interesting because Bellinger's gonna get a fairly long-term deal. Like I could totally see Bellinger getting like a 5-year deal.
I think 5/120. That's like I'm like
Yeah.
that's I think that's exactly what he'll get, which is what
But
is
do
that
the Yankees give that to
20,
him?
what is 5/120 per year? That's 24 a year. See, here's the thing what's weird about the Yankees offseason. This is now year 3 after setting the tax in 2021. Remember, they often do it every 3 years. The payroll's at 290. They're probably going to cut. Now they have a lot of money coming off the books, but how much are they going to add is the question. And that's where we're going to have to see Hal put on some big boy pants and be like, yo, this isn't acceptable. If this is unacceptable, which you know he's going to say it is, prove it. Go spend like crazy. Because I'll say it again, as like monkey talk as it may be, you could fix this team with money. You could
Yeah.
get better players by spending money. As simple and as like lazy of a take as it is, you could do. Am I wrong, Pat? Do you
No,
literally?
you're not
You
wrong.
can have an offseason, just go ball out, Hal. You're the New York Yankees, bro. You're loaded. Go spend crazy dough. Not
But
even that
Dan,
crazy dough. Like, go spend fucking $200 million and just like, not even that, like 150, 160 million in supplemental players and just make the team better.
but
You
you
can
know
do
what they
that. You're
say.
allowed. But
Money doesn't bring happiness.
rather cry in a Lambo than a junk up beater.
Would you?
Yeah.
You know what they also say?
Listen, man. I'll
They
say what
also
they say.
say more money, more
They
problems.
say, what did Jordan Belfort say? I have been a rich man and I've been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time.
Nice.
True.
Before we get into topic number 5, because I do have a topic number 5.
I have no idea
One,
what it is.
one thing I do want to bring up very quickly, and I think you could probably relate because we live in fairly the same area. Have you seen these lantern flies everywhere?
Bro, they're a big so
Dude, it's big
dude,
in Jersey, right?
yeah, so they've like migrated fully to Jersey. And they've kind of been around. It's been a problem the last couple of years. For those who may not be on the East Coast, lanternflies have totally came out of nowhere, and they've actually we've been given orders like by the news, by people like, yo, kill these motherfuckers. It's actually kind of hilarious, bro. Because a lot of times, like the environmentalists, you won't hear that from them, but they're straight up like, yo, any motherfucking lanternfly you see, stomp on that dude's head. Which, yo, now I have like a kill counter going. I'm already up to 15 on the year. But yo, I'll tell you this:
Oh, I probably had more.
screw you, when I was in Hershey Park last year, because they like originated, I think, in Pennsylvania. Holy shit, bro! I almost like, if I were the one that paid for the tickets, I would have had to gotten a refund. Like, that's how bad it was. Everywhere you
Really?
go, bro, like you take a sip of your fucking Coke, like there's 3 lanternflies. They were just chilling on there, bro. They're crazy. They're disgusting. They don't hurt humans, but I guess they like eat crops and shit. They like really fuck up life, and like they're
Yeah,
not good
dude.
bugs. You got to kill these things.
No, it's so crazy because I go for strolls from time to time,
You do
and dude,
3 hour
there's
strolls.
so
Get sunburned.
there, there's so many lantern flies everywhere, bro. And I feel bad stepping on them, but if I see them, bang, gone. Because I
I don't feel
remembered,
bad.
I was like, yo, I see this on TikTok all the time, and they're like, yo, if you see lantern flies, kill them at all costs, bro.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you could hear this. There's like a bunch of jackhammering going
Is that
on.
what that is, bro?
Can you
Damn.
hear it?
They're
Okay.
quite, yeah. Jackhammer's quite passionate about the Yankees, I guess, or lanternflies.
Yeah, I
I
guess
do. One of
so.
the funny moments I remember too was like I was coming out of a Walmart. This was last year, I think. I was coming out of a Walmart, and me and this lady are walking by or whatever, like total stranger, and I see this lanternfly, and it was kind of like away from me, so I had to do a little. I saw it, and I did a little lunge to go get it, and then like the lady was like, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I got it." She's like, "Let's go," and it was like, it's cool because going back to what I said before, it's nice how like we all just had this collective order,
Yeah,
like to like
everyone knows.
kill these fucking lanternflies. It's kind of cool, but
Yeah,
yeah,
RIP.
that
But
was a good topic
topic
5
number
by you.
5.
Oh,
No,
that's not topic 5.
that's not that. If you want, it could be topic
I
number
thought it
5.
was, but let's hear it.
I have like a more Yankee focused topic number 5.
Bet.
Yeah. I want to actually no. Maybe we should save this for an actual topic in a future episode. It was going to be Austin Wells and how Boone said like they want to see him like at first base, and you know what I mean.
So
I think
he's
it could be worthy of a full topic though.
no, absolutely yes. Which good thought by you. We'll save that. I think probably dude for Thursday's show because which by the way Thursday we're gonna have to really figure it out. I'm weirdly busy that day, so we'll have to talk off camera. But just for recording. Anyways, September 1st rosters expand to 28. Now there's a 40-man spot available for Wells because once they DFA'd Greg Allen, that I think we're at 39 right now. So they'll be able to put Wells in the 40-man, no problem, and then you just call him up with roster expansion. I think he's coming up by the end of this week.
Oh,
And dude, I'm starting to think like there's been a lot of smoke about Dominguez coming up, and he's destroying in AAA.
no,
Dominguez.
there's no way. No. I think that would be such a stupid thing to do, and I don't know why the Yankees are like this. It's either like 100% or 0%. There's no in between. It's either they bring up their top prospects with like no AAA experience, like Volpe, or they just let them rot in AAA for their entire career, like Peraza. I want Dominguez to get a little bit of time in
Well,
AAA,
I think
bro.
with Dominguez, what could happen? It could be almost how it was with A-Rod when he came up, and many prospects. You give him up, give him a little taste. You call him up, but he could still possibly start the year at AAA next year. So even if you were to bring him up, for a couple weeks of September, I don't think it's going to happen. But also, it doesn't mean that he's guaranteed
Would
a
he be
roster
your
spot
starter?
opening day. Yeah, I mean, if you're calling him up, definitely for sure, I would say so. But at the very least, you're going to call up Wells, and then, I mean, Dude, if they were to call up Thorpe, would be sick. I don't think they'll do that, but you'll also probably get Wells and another pitcher, I assume. So just stay tuned for that end of the week. But yeah, no, I mean we'll see. I think we'll talk about him in another topic. That was a good idea.
No
Is that today's
problem,
show?
man. I think that is a little bit of a short one, but not our fault.
I mean,
Um,
it worked out perfectly. I said I had to get out of here by 10:30, and you're like 10:40. And look at it, it's 10 fucking
I
25.
never said that.
Yes, you
There's no
did.
proof of me
And
ever saying.
guess
I feel like sometimes you
no,
just
you know
say
what's
things.
funny too? There might be proof of it because I may have came after I hit the good old record button.
Okay, that's fine. It's all good.
I'm missing you in person, Pat.
I know. We're gonna do it soon.
Okay. Socials, where can they find you?
TikTok, Twitter, at Unhinged Patrick, Instagram at True Hennessy, and also follow us on TikTok. Shout out to Alana at Yankees Avenue on TikTok.
Yankees Avenue. Yes, yes, yes. Dan on work on Twitter, Dan on work on Instagram, Yankees Avenue on Instagram, Yankees Avenue here on YouTube. Please subscribe if you are new. What are your plans for the day? You like editing and shit?
Just a little bit of work.
I was
Might go
genuinely
for a
asking you,
stroll.
dude. You don't gotta be a dick. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be working most likely today.
Word. No, yeah, me too. Got baseball
How
today
about you?
coming up
Oh, great.
I'm done. I'm done, dude. I'm done.
Do you like my shirt? I don't think you complimented
I
me
do.
today.
I do.
Thank you.
I am gonna
Foco.
compliment it because it is Foco. It's very
Thank you.
nice.
I like
Shit.
your shirt too, Dan. You gave me great vibes in this episode today.
I
You
hope you mean
crushed
that. I
it.
had a good time today. I really did. I'm thinking of one more thing to say because this is classic me being like, I'm gonna miss talking to you and the show's over. But hey, that's life.
Last thing.
Sometimes you just
Can
gotta
I
say
say
goodbye.
something to the audience?
You have more than the right to do so, yes.
Great. Just want to say before we wrap up today's episode, love you all. You are an absolute beast. And you know what? Just follow the advice that we said earlier, bro. Wake up every morning and tell yourself, I'm the king of the world, and good things will happen.
I like that.
Also,
I like
A-Rod's going to be on the show by the end of the year. Bank it.
Yeah, I think we should shoot for 2024.
No. I've been saying I have 4 months to get this done. That's 3 months longer than I need.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
And progress has been made.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right, bet. We'll see you guys next time. And A-Rod, let's go Yankees.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.